You're still relying on your gut feeling when betting. That just means the bookmaker is already getting ready to cash in. It's time for strategies instead of luck. We provide well-founded facts about the truth and show you how to become one of the 1% who make legitimate profits. Whether it's with matched betting, sure bets, or value betting. sportsbettingacademy.com.
Can you imagine watching a basketball game and you already know even before the game starts that you'll walk away as the winner? Impossible? Well, today I'm going to show you a secret strategy that makes this possible if you understand how everything fits together. And in this case study, I'll show you step by step why this is possible, how it can be possible for you too, and why sports betting is purely a mathematical act if you understand these connections. Understand them. A warm welcome. My name is Daniel Winterholzinger, and I am a sports betting researcher, and also the founder of the Sports Betting Academy, the largest educational platform related to the topic of sports betting. And in sports betting research, it's all about exploring techniques that make it possible for the outcome of a game to be completely irrelevant in the end. And yet I still walk away as the winner. How that works, I'll show you now in this video. Before we dive deeper, it's of course crucial and important that you haven't already been banned or limited by any bookmaker, that you can use different betting providers, and that you have the right tools to, for example, calculate your stakes correctly. And that you also have the knowledge that I'm about to show you in this video. But for you to understand how this actually works, we first need to break down the logic of a basketball game into all its individual parts. Now, what I'm about to show you is a bet where the bookmaker allows us to bet on a win in basketball. And here the possible overtime is included here. And so in basketball, there is always only either a win for the home team or a win for the away team. So there is no draw here. So there are only these two possibilities if overtime is included. So logically, we have the consequence here that these two together always add up to 100%. Either the home team wins or the away team wins. One of these two will definitely happen. This is absolutely essential before we can move on to the next step. Because first we need to understand what covers all eventualities here. And so you can also see that here in this graphic. The second thing I want to show you now is the following image. Here you now see the first image of Maccabi Ramat Gan against Elitzer Ramla. This is the Israel Women's Super League, and I don't know the team, but that's not necessary. I also don't know where they stand in the table or how they've played recently. What I think about how the game will end doesn't matter here. But what you see here now with this bookmaker is that we have what's called a win bet here. And this one includes overtime. You can see here that this bookmaker is offering us the following odds. For a win by the home team, the odds are 1.33, and for a win by the away team, the odds are 3.0. That's the offer from the first bookmaker. Now I want to show you a different offer for the same game. From another bookmaker, take a look. Here I am now at Merkur Bets. And you can see here that once again, we have the same game. And here too, we have a win bet again, including overtime. Only the odds are completely different here now. Here, this bookmaker interprets that the home team wins with odds of 1. They get odds of 1.13, and the away team gets odds of 4.81. If we now compare these two betting providers directly with each other, it looks like this. I've made it look a bit nicer for you visually. Here in the top row, you see the first bookmaker from bwin with the odds 1.33. And here SIGTIP 2 with odds of 3, and in the row below, the bookmaker Merkur Bets with odds of 1.13, and for SIGTIP 2, odds of 4.81. And now it's exactly about this situation. We absolutely have to bet on both possible outcomes, the favorable and the unfavorable, so that we can effectively create what's commonly called a sure bet. And the intricate art of this particular technique truly lies in meticulously making sure that the odds, which are generously offered by the bookmaker, add up mathematically in such a precise and advantageous way that I will ultimately get back significantly more than I originally staked, ensuring a guaranteed profit. And if we now look at this in this specific example and take the odds of 1.33, so the highest odds for SIG tip 1 and the odds of 4.81 at the other bookmaker. And then you will carefully enter this precise information into the comprehensive sure bet calculator.
You're still relying on your gut feeling when betting. That just means the bookmaker is already getting ready to cash in. It's time for strategies instead of luck. We provide well-founded facts about the truth and show you how to become one of the 1% who make legitimate profits. Whether it's with matched betting, sure bets, or value betting. sportsbettingacademy.com.
I am now in the closed members area of the Sports Betting Academy. And if we scroll down a bit here, you'll find a variety of tools at the bottom. And one of them is the so-called Surebet calculator. When I open this Surebet calculator, then you can proceed as follows. We can now enjoy our up here. Consider the total effort. That could be the case now. 10 euros, 50 euros, 100 euros. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. For our training purposes, I'll use the value of 100 euros, for example. In the second step, we can select two-way here. That's already pre-selected since we only have SIG tip 1 or SIG tip 2 here, so we only need this function. In the next step, I can enter it here, 1 or 2. Here, there is only either SIG tip 1 or 2. Down here, we can then enter the bookmaker. For example, here we have bwin and here we have Merkur Bets. In the next step, we can enter the odds down here that the betting providers offer us. Earlier, we saw that bwin offers odds of 1.33 for SIG tip 1 and Merkur Bets offers odds of 4.81 for SIG tip 2. And that was the whole difficulty, because now the calculator comes into play and performs a calculation. The calculator now takes these 100 euros that we want to bet in total and distributes them mathematically correctly according to the situation. On win type 1 with bwin and on win type 2 with Merkur Bets. You can now see here, if we bet 78 euros and 34 cents at odds of 1.33 and 21 euros and 66 cents at odds of 4.81. If we add these two amounts together, the total is 100 euros. And down here, you can now see that the number is displayed, in this case, 4.19 or here 4.18. If we have placed these two bets like this, the following happens. Now imagine the game ends with a home win. What happens then? Then our first bet at bwin, where we staked 78 euros and 34 cents, wins. We then receive a payout, 78 euros and 34 cents times the odds, so times 1.33. In this case, if we calculate that now, we get a payout of 104 euros and 19 cents. You can see we've invested 100 euros, and now if the result is a home win for Mainz, I get 104 euros and 19 cents back. Let's go through the second scenario. Assume the game ends with an away win. Then I place 21 euros and 66 cents at odds of 4.81. So 21.66 times 4.81 gives us a payout of 104.18 euros. You see here too, if the game now ends with a win for the away team, I receive a higher payout than what I invested in total. I get paid out more than I invested overall. In this case, in both scenarios, I now have a profit of 4 euros and 19 cents or 18 cents. And this only works if bookmakers have different assessments. This doesn't work with just one bookmaker. If we now look at this only from, for example, bwin's perspective, then we would see the following situation. We saw earlier that the bookmaker offers us odds of 1.33 and 3. For the away team, you can see here, if I were to do this only at bwin, I would mathematically lose €7.86 here, no matter how the game ends. If I were to do this only at Merkur Bets, in both cases, here we saw earlier that the odds were 1.13 and here 4.81. If I were to play it only there in this way, I would have a loss of €8.49. But it's precisely this setup that bwin gives us the odds, offers a significant 1.33, and Merkur Bets generously offers attractive odds of 4.81. This combination truly allows us to successfully create this profitable sure bet. If you're interested in this topic and want to learn how to find these bets, how this calculator works, if you want to use the calculator yourself, if you want to train and learn together with me, then join the Sports Betting Academy. Then come join my training program. You'll find a link below this video where you can book the Master Access Pro. And you can train together with me so that you can apply this yourself in your own future. I'm very glad you tuned in again today. I wish you all the best and lots of success with your bets. See you in the next video. Ciao.